Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Our next major update set to drop in Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone is, of course, the Season 2 Reloaded update, or the mid-season update for Season 2 as it's also known. And this is actually going to be a pretty significant update across the board in terms of content and gameplay updates alike, whether we're talking multiplayer, Warzone, or even zombies. And so today, we're going through everything that we currently know about Season 2 Reloaded, initially starting with when the update's actually going to happen. And as I'm recording this video, there has been no official time frame released for it, but they've also previewed several different things happening in season, and especially with the event schedule, from a week-to-week basis, it does seem like with how they've previewed those, March 6th is going to be the most likely launch date for Season 2 Reloaded, but that's still up in the air. So if we get any further clarification on that, I'll be sure to update those details in a future video, or maybe update the pinned comment on this video. So just keep an eye out for that. But as of right now, March 6th does seem to be the most likely time frame for that, based off of all the context clues that we have. But then jumping into the actual update specific content, every mode is getting a decent amount of updates with this. Let's start first with the multiplayer side of things, then we'll work our way into the more universal stuff, going between Warzone, zombies, and then the entire game's new content. So for Modern Warfare 3, we've got a couple of new map updates happening with Season 2 Reloaded, the first of which is going to be the return of Das Haus. You may remember this is actually a map back from Vanguard, one of the better maps for grinding camos and getting a lot of kills, just because it is another small map. They are remastering this, but it's going to be on top of a skyscraper, so this just means I'm going to be able to fall off the map more. Woohoo. But it is going to be fun to have this back. There's not going to be any destruction. The devs did tell us in a call earlier on, so it's not going to be like a one-to-one of Vanguard's Das Haus, but the layout will be the same roughly. We also have some new variant maps dropping alongside a new event with Season 2 Reloaded. So we have like the whole Decay event coming up. It's going to change around some of the maps. Skid Row is going to be Skid Row, but it's all like overgrown and infested. So it's going to look different. It's probably not going to play all that different, but visually it'll be a little bit fresh. Then also Airborne, which is like an infested terminal, essentially. There's hives all over the place. There's like spores and whatnot. So they just look a little bit creepier and eerier. Is that the correct word to use? We're going to run with it. So the gameplay on those maps won't probably change all that much, but they will look different when you're jumping in there. We also got a couple of new modes dropping for Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer as well with Season 2 Reloaded, including the return of Bounty, which basically is glorified team deathmatch. It's still TDM. However, the leader in kills on each team is marked by having a flag on them. They are the bounty. They're the high value target. So you get some extra points when you go through and you eliminate that HVT. And that can obviously update throughout the game. If one person ends up overtaking another in terms of kills, they then become the bounty and the HVT for that team. So it's kind of a more aggressive TDM, I guess you could say. Then personally, I'm really interested in this one just for the sheer enjoyment that you're going to get out of running around with these style of characters. Jugger Mosh. This is basically a mosh pit mode where every player is a juggernaut. So the health is gonna go crazy here, and I'm really curious to see how that affects gunplay, gunfights, what kind of builds people are using. It's gonna be a pretty significant twist on general gameplay here, so Juggermosh is another one to look out for there. We then shift focus to some of the zombies-oriented content, and quite frankly, the only updates that zombies is getting throughout all of Season 2 is happening with Season 2 Reloaded. So this is a big zombies update, all things considered, although big in zombies isn't necessarily compared to, multiplayer or Warzone. Big there is much more significant, it seems like, but we are getting a decent amount of zombies content updates here with the mid-season update. Initially, we are getting a new story act here, so you'll have some new objectives, some new quests to go through and complete. There will be specific rewards for those, and that'll continue on the overall storyline there. There's also going to be a new Dark Ether Rift. You'll be able to go into the map and teleport to this new rift area and take on the new adventures that then brings to the story and brings to gameplay there. We're also going to see some new challenges and new schematics. So there's going to be a VR11 Wonder Weapon schematic that you can actually get. The Mags of Holding schematic, which is basically you never have to reload. When you have this active, your ammo from your stash is constantly being resupplied into your current magazine, so you never have to take the time to reload. So using something like an LMG with 200 rounds on it can go crazy with this because you never have to stop holding down the trigger there. Then there's also going to be a blood burner key schematic as well, which is quite literally just the key to the motorcycle, so you can easily get that if you want that in a game. So Pretty standard there for the schematics, but there are some fun ones. Then lastly, there is going to be a new warlord called Kiers. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is like a tactical poison-based boss that's going to be up at the Orlov military base area. And there's going to be like all sorts of different traps with poison grenades and tripwires and stuff like that. So you'll want to have a gas mask when you end up pushing through and trying to attack Kiers in game. Then let's shift focus over to Warzone. And as we get into this part of the conversation, quick reminder, if you are new to the channel, every single day, I got you covered with news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, everything going on in COD is right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and join us on the road to 1 million subs. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. It is always seriously appreciated. Now, initially with Warzone here, we're going to see a couple of new gameplay updates happening across the board. So with this, first up, we do have the research vessel dropping, and this is going to be like a new mobile POI on Fortune's Keep specifically. So with this, there's going to be ascenders that you can actually ascend up to get onto the ship itself. It's going to have like its own sort of safe zone in the gas. So if it's sitting on the edge of the gas line, it'll actually extend out and create a further safe zone, like as a bubble around it, which is pretty cool. There will be UAV towers on this, extra loot you can gear up with, a buy station and whatnot. So you can really use this as a tactical POI to take players off guard, or, you know, use this as a place to maybe escape to if need be. It'll be a fun little POI update, I feel like. We're also going to see the Bunker Buster kill streak, which admittedly I'm not super excited about because I feel like it's going to be really annoying. Think of it as like a mortar strike, but it's going to be one that is able to destroy you through multiple floors of a building. Say you drop this on a 3-story building, it's going to land and do initial splash damage to those in the area, but then it's also going to do gas damage at the same time that'll actually affect multiple floors on the inside. So you could be at the bottom of a building, think you're completely safe from an aerial kill streak, and it's still going to hit you. This is going to be pretty crazy if you can save this for late game. You know, if there's a team posted up in a choke point and it's a building and they think they're safe with cover, you drop this on them, they're either going to be forced to burn their gas mask or to move. It's going to be a really interesting play for certain styles of gameplay. Then lastly, we're going to see the return of the portable decontamination station here as well. So this is obviously something that we've seen before in previous iterations of Warzone. It's your own safe space in the gas. You can throw this down and you have a temporary bubble of safeness. It won't harm you if you're in this, if you're inside the gas. So it can be really clutch for certain gas plays. Based on history, I almost feel like there's guaranteed to be some kind of gas glitch going on when this gets implemented. Hopefully it goes smoothly, but I'm just saying every single season it seems like we've got some new kind of gas glitch, so this could certainly be a culprit of a future one, that's for sure. But then we get into the last bit of information here for Season 2 Reloaded, and this is in regards to essentially the universal content, stuff that'll affect multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone alike. The big stuff here is the 2 new weapons. So the first one is the SOA Subverter. This is going to be a brand new battle rifle available via a weekly challenge, likely dropping with Season 2 Reloaded. This will be a 7.62 hard-hitting battle rifle, so definitely one that could be a contender in the overall meta. And then our second one is a little bit less competitive, but still fun. It's the Soul Render Melee. This is basically a sword. You can actually go into a stance like this where you're almost like in a defense mode in a sense, and then use it really quickly as a melee. So it'll be unique in that sense. It'll have some different animations, but it's still a melee at the end of the day, so nothing too crazy there unless you're a big melee fan, obviously. And then the other big thing happening with the Reloaded update is the start of some of the new events. We've got a handful of events planned post Season 1 Reloaded update. Obviously, we're in the midst of things like Cryptid Boot Camp. The Walking Dead event's going to be coming up here just prior to March 6th. But then post March 6th with some of the other updates, we're going to see that Decay's Realm event, which includes those different, Decayed multiplayer maps. Then there's also going to be a Dune Rule of Fate event coming up as well. So some more specific content and rewards based out of those. And then, of course, on top of all of that, we're going to have different gameplay updates, gameplay fixes, meta updates happening with Season 2 as well. So we'll see buffs and nerfs to various different weapons, a lot of fixes and potential gameplay adjustments to certain features or other things like that. But that stuff will be revealed fully in the patch notes. That's not really stuff they preview in like the blogs or the roadmaps and whatnot, right? But all that being said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. It's always really appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, you want to guarantee that every single day you are always up to date with all things going on in COD, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.